Hey everybody, it's Johnny again. Gonna do a little review of Clearomizers. Yeah, I know they've been done to death, but I'm just going to actually pass along a couple that I find that I really like out of all the ones that I've tried so far. Clearomizers, if you're not familiar with them, it's a real basic device. It is a tank. It has wicks in it. It has a coil at the top that gets hot. That's a Clearomizer. Generally, they are made with the 510 threading to fit on an Ego style top on a battery. Most of them out there are going to range you between $4 and $7 depending on where you find them and who you get them from. Quality wise, they're all, as far as I am aware, made overseas, and the quality control on them not always the greatest. You're going to get some misses. Mostly you're going to get wins, but don't get upset if you get a couple misfires in there. Most of the tanks that I've come across, no matter who the vendor is or the style, get about 2 weeks before they start going south on you. Usually it's either a gurgling issue or just the coil burns out on them. So that being said, roughly about 2 to 3 weeks usage time for $4 to $7. You can't really go wrong with the things. Plus, I like the fact that you can get at least 1.5 milliliters, maybe even more depending on the tank. So it's a lot less filling through the course of the day. I like the Clearomizer also because of for me at least, the quality of the vaping. I like the flavors. They come out a little bit cleaner to me versus the cartomizers out there. So I go with them. Now, enough about what a Clearomizer is and all that. I'm sure you've probably seen them. First one I'm going to show off is the Bauway Clearomizer. Now, Lord Davin did a really good review of this with all the technical end of it. I'm just going to give my little spiel, keep it kind of short and sweet. Overall, it's average as far as performance goes. Resistance on it 1.7 to 2.4 ohms rated. Honestly, guys, I bought this thing for the drip tip. The drip tip on this versus all the others is removable, and it's a 510 style drip tip, so that means I can use my own drip tip on there. Now you're probably wondering, John, you've got a $4 or $5 disposable tank. Why are you bothering with a drip tip? Well, kids, the thing is, I like my drip tip. So if I have a chance to use my drip tip, I'm going to use my drip tip, which I do with this thing. I got to carry it around all day. You don't. Use your own drip tip, whatever you like. I'm not honestly crazy about this style, so I put this on there. That being said, again, it's an average Clearomizer, not really any better performance than all the other ones you buy out there, the Star Lights and all these Star whatevers and shiny sparklies that they've got on the market. Pretty much all the same. And that brings me into this next guy. This is the Smok brand. It's their ReDux or ReDux in French model Clearomizer. It is a replaceable head, which means the coil can be replaced. Instead of having to replace the whole thing, you unscrew the coil out of it, and I'm going to do this real quickly here. Now, as far as the product itself, really nice machining on this. It's got the metal bottom on it. Threading is rock solid, very smooth on here. It's got a really high quality gasket on there too to prevent leaking inside the tube, which brings us to the coil. That's it right there, kids. Now the thing just unscrews. Let me do this real quickly here. So instead of replacing the whole tank when it burns out, you just replace this little part. Now, like I said, the Clearomizers, no matter who you get them from, what brand, price-wise, they're very affordable. They're going to range you between $4 and $7. But for this guy here, instead of replacing the whole tank every couple of weeks, you just replace the coil, which is about $2, $2.50, depending where you get them. So that's really a nice selling point. I'm still only a week into it, so I'm still on the same first coil too. So I've not actually seen how long they last. So far, this particular one has lasted me about a week, and it's still going strong. I've not seen any reduction of quality out of it. Now, speaking of quality, this thing hits like a freight train, kids. Make no mistake. You're going to get it right in the back of the throat, and you're going to get it hard. So, use at your own risk on that one. It does hit a lot harder than every Clearomizer I've ever used. I use a regular just Ego battery with it. I don't have variable voltage. It's just, you know, your basic run-of-the-mill Ego battery, and it burns that hard. My one thing issue, I'm going to call it a complaint actually, is the types of flavors you can use in this thing. Because it burns so damn hot, it doesn't like the caramels, it doesn't like the vanillas, the more muted soft flavors, I'm going to call them. It burns them. Quite frankly, it burns them. There's almost no flavor coming out of this thing when I use those types of liquids. On the other side of the spectrum, however, though, if I use drink flavors, if I use fruit flavors, if I use candy flavors, those things flourish like you wouldn't believe on this Smok tank. That's where it really shines, guys. So I will recommend it, even though it's got the one con, because I honestly, I love the dessert flavors and I like the vanillas. So I'm gonna have to go to my other tanks for that, unfortunately. But I will constantly go to this for the other ones, my drink flavors, because I do like my drink flavors and I like my candy flavors. So this really shines above any other that I've ever used, Clearomizer wise. So I will recommend it. The Smok ReDux, or ReDux if you're French, and the Bauway CE4 Clearomizers. Check them out. Pretty much all the vendors out there have got them, one or the other, or sometimes even both. And again, price range between $4 and $6 most places. Your mileage may vary because it is an electronic device. You may get, you may get a couple days. The ones I've tried so far, 2 weeks at least on especially on the Bauways, because that's one I've had the longest. So give them a shot. They are solid, both of them. I've not been let down yet. That's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, you want to see more, please, take a minute to subscribe to my channel. Any questions, please put them down below. I will answer them as quickly as I can and as best as I can. And happy vaping.